Shalom, shalom. Issachar here from GMS Savannah. Come with another lesson. First and foremost, I want to give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash, and double honors to the apostles and elder bishop, great millstone, which rule well and teach well, and to the Arkham, as well as the Phillies, pushing his 100% truth and sincerity while risking their life and freedom to do so. And salutation to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and speckled birds scattered amongst the heathens that looks like the heathens. They have the appearance of the heathens, but their father's seed line goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and also referred to as Israelite foreigners. But today's lesson we're going into is, I saw Issachar today, and they got no oil, man. They have no oil, man, and just show you what I seen today as I was doing a little shopping. As you can see, that's the Northern Kingdom right there. You know, they out there pushing that Jeebus. You know all that what they doing out there is in vain. You know, it's totally in vain. You know. It's totally in vain. They holding up a sign. Using that Jeebus. That ain't even the name. That ain't even the strong tower. That's the name of the so-called white man. Whenever they see that, that's who they think of. They don't think of Yahushua. They think of that that hippie with long hair, which his name is Cesare Borgia. But, they use that image as the face of Jeebus. Which, hey, whenever you think of Jeebus, that's the name you call on. But that's not the name of the Messiah of the Bible. His name Yahushua. But right here with Acts 4 and 12, it says, neither is there salvation in any other, for there is none other name under the heaven given amongst men, whereby we must be saved. And that's the name Yahushua. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, that's the Savior. Yahweh, he exists. And Yahushua is our Redeemer, That name, that's our salvation, man. Yahushua, man. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. That's the name, but that's the name only given to the elect, The name ain't Jeebus. That's a made up name. That's a false god, false idol, made up. And you got Issachar, the northern kingdom, out there holding up a sign. That's all they doing, just holding up a sign, wasting their time, man. And something that's all in vain. That's why Hosea 4:6, my people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge, because they have has rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou should be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. I will also forget thy children. And like I say, that's what they doing, man. They have a lack of knowledge of what they doing. They see these videos, and we got videos with prophets out here in the Northern Kingdom speaking Spanish, man, speaking in that name Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. But man, they got no oil, man. They pretty much are 2/3, man. They not getting it, man. And they go and calling on this false God. This not your God. Your God is Yahweh. Hashem Yahweh Shai. But like I say, that's all you see they push, They call on that Jesus Christos. They push that Jesus, man, over in that northern kingdom, man, but that's not the name. And that's why, right here, Proverbs 18:10 say, the name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous run into it and is safe. And that's the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. That's the strong tower. And like I say, Issachar got to, those guys out there, man, they ain't got no oil, man. They lost. They don't know what's going on, man. They still calling on these false gods and false idols, man. And I guarantee you, they still celebrating the pagan holidays of these heathens. I guarantee you, they'll be standing out there with a Santa Claus hat on in December. Watch, and if I see them, I'm definitely gonna do a lesson on them, man, because they do follow idols. You know what I'm saying? And they follow the way of the world, man. That's not the name, man. That name has no power. That Jeebus, the power's in the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Hosea 4:17. Ephraim is joined to idols. Let him be alone. And like I say, that's what it is with Issachar, man. They joined to idols, man. That Jesus Christos and all that, man. They have no wisdom, knowledge, or understanding of this truth, man. And knowing that they are Hebrew Israelites, and a lot of them they don't have the oil, man. They don't have the oil, and we see it all the time, man. They still dumbfounded, man. They Jesus Christos. No, man. It's Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai is your Messiah, man. It ain't no daggum Jeebus. But they still dumb and confounded. But hey, no name, no salvation, man. If they not gonna have that covering of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man, it's gonna be rough for them out here, man. Because like I say, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai say his children will eat, man. But you got to have that strong tower and that name and that faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. But without that, man, hey, Issachar out there, that's in vain what they doing out there, man. Then, one guy, he sit down texting on his phone and just got the sign in front of him, He just out there. I don't know if somebody paid him to do it, but, man, they just out there to be out there, and it's all a vain act, man. But I just hope this is at a time to the hopeful sheep and the lamb. Call the law Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And Kwal Yasharala, on to the next lesson. We see these this Northern Kingdom, Issachar, man, and they got no oil in them, man. You know, the ones around here, man, they don't know. And other places too, man. They lost, man. But hey, like I say, they see everything on YouTube and these platforms and stuff. You know, all these social media. But you know, they still not gonna get it, man. So hey, they pretty much in their lot is the 2/3. Shalom.